Hello, Internet. It is I, Malik Aaron. Welcome back to my holiday 2019 box office predictions. And after a few quiet ish weeks, we're now getting back into blockbuster territory with Jumanji The Next Level. We're going to talk about the pros and cons of Jumanji The Next Level. So let's get to it. Pros: this is the sequel to Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle, which was a huge success that nobody saw coming 2 years ago. Made nearly $1 billion. And the story behind that is quite interesting, like the whole story. So I'm going to give you the Cliff Notes version. See, in mid 2017, Sony released a trailer for Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle, and despite the movie having a very impressive cast with, Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, Karen Gillan, it got a lot of skepticism and a bit of hate. I mean, nowhere near as bad as Ghostbusters 2016 or Sonic, or like the Sonic movie. It was nowhere near as bad as that, but it did get a lot of skepticism because a lot of people saw Welcome to the Jungle as a soulless soulless cash grab reboot, similar to Ghostbusters 2016, because the original Jumanji from 1995 with Robin Williams, I mean, that movie isn't a masterpiece, but a lot of people really love it. So by making a new one that pretty much has little, or like, how do I say this? It's a loose continuation of the story. You're walking on eggshells. But to everybody's shock, probably Sony's the most, it ended up being a good film, a good family film that appealed to a wide variety of people. And it also helped that The Last Jedi was so controversial because, Welcome to the Jungle, it opened to like 36 million, which most people would be like, oh, that's not too great. But the legs it had were insane. I mean, it was number two for its first 2 weeks, then it was number one for its third week, then its fourth, then its fifth. Then it went back to number two in its sixth, and then in its seventh weekend, it went back up to number one. And it was in the top 10 for, I forgot how many weeks, but about 3 months. Like, it was a long time. People really, really loved Welcome to the Jungle. So, this being a sequel, it has a lot of good, the original has such goodwill that it will greatly benefit the next level. And it also helps, pro number two, it also helps that there has been too many big movies in the market recently. I mean, you could say Knives Out, but the audience for Knives Out and this don't connect at all. I mean, that has been a real 100% blockbuster since Frozen 2, and that was like, what, 3 weeks ago? 4 weeks ago? I forget, but it's been a while. And while Frozen 2 will still be in the marketplace, I feel like Jumanji the Next Level, like it being the new product, it will still have a decent opening. And for the rest of December, the only movie Next Level has to really worry about is Rise of Skywalker. But hey, Welcome to the Jungle, it was a brutal competitor to The Last Jedi, which again, nobody saw coming. Everyone thought, oh, Last Jedi easy, but Welcome to the Jungle put up a fight. And I can see that happening again here. And also the reviews for this, they're not great, but they're not terrible either. They're okay, which won't, those type of reviews, they won't hurt or help a movie's box office unless a movie's like super widely anticipated or something. So, yeah. Those are all the pros. Cons, when it comes to franchises this year, it's been less of a gamble and more of a 50-50 death sentence. I mean, there are exceptions. There's John Wick 3, Toy Story 4, Frozen 2, Avengers Endgame. What else? I'm trying to think. Spider-Man Far From Home. There are exceptions. But this year has been horrible for a lot of series. Like, we're talking Dark Phoenix, Men in Black International, Terminator Dark Fate, Charlie's Angels, Hellboy, Lego Movie 2, like Godzilla 2. Secret Life of Pets 2. It's been rough to say the least. And I don't think Jumanji Next Level is going to join that pack because unlike those, like this one actually has a decent enough reputation. Well, Lego Movie 2 has a decent reputation, but I think just Lego Movie 2 is a special situation where despite being good, I feel like there were just a little too many Lego movies, and they all felt the same. That people they're just done with that series. And Jumanji Next Level for this particular Jumanji series, technically there's three, but for the new ones there's two. So it doesn't have to deal with any brand erosion like a lot of the other movies I mentioned, but it's still worth noting because It Chapter 2 is a good comparison because It Chapter 2, despite having a well-received predecessor, a highly successful predecessor, it underperformed quite a bit. But the thing is, it still made money. It was cheap enough that it would still make a profit. And the same thing applies here. Apparently only cost $130 million, considering how decent it did overseas last weekend and how, I've looked at early numbers and it's doing pretty good. So it doesn't have to worry about budget at all. But again, I'm not going to call it franchise fatigue, more like just bad franchises or like bad decisions. It could hurt it, or at least it could ding it a little bit. But I wouldn't be too concerned. But that's the only real con I think this movie has. Other than that, it seems like it's going to be, okay. It's going to do all right. So, opening weekend, I'm going to predict 50 million. I think that's a good number to hit. Yeah, 50 million opening weekend. Overall, that's kind of hard because it's hard to tell if those incredible legs that Welcome to the Jungle had the same thing will happen with this. I doubt it because it's a sequel. I still think it'll have decent enough legs, I think. So 300 million. Okay. My range is from 250 to 300. I know it's quite a large range, but that's what I think. It'll be somewhere in between 250 and 300 million domestic, which would be down quite a bit from the first one. But granted, no one thought the Next Level would match Welcome to the Jungle. Nobody thought that, just like how nobody thought Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom would match Jurassic World. So it's not the end of the world if it makes less. But I think if it can at least retain a majority of its predecessor's gross, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. So yeah, that's Jumanji the Next Level. So what else do I need to do? There's one more movie. Ugh, stupid ads. I hate ads, if you didn't know that. Oh my god. Get off the screen. Okay, thank God. Alright, we got one more movie to cover. Richard Jewell. Man, Black Christmas. That movie's bombing. I was way, way, way too generous with that movie. But yeah, next up we got Richard Jewell. And then after that we got Cats, Rise of Skywalker, Bombshell, Little Women, Spies in Disguise. And I think, what is it? Uncut Gems. And then that's it for 2019. We're done. So yeah, make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment. You want to go check out my other predictions. I have a holiday 2019 box office predictions. I have that playlist. You can go look at that. And yeah, that's it. That's all. And I am out.